Okay, so when it comes to Planet Zoo, everybody knows and loves franchise, sandbox mode, all that kinds of fun stuff. But what about career mode, you know? I think, it could easily be one of the more underrated, overlooked ways to play, Planet Zoo. With, like all the tight budgets, the guests get kind of cranky, and there's all these different challenges to try and figure out. It really does kind of put your zoo management skills to the test, so to speak. And we're going to even be trying to do it in hard difficulty, which, one wrong move could be a total disaster. But who knows, with the real-life zookeeping experience that I have, maybe we can take on this challenge and kind of turn all these zoos into something that really, really thrives. I don't know, I feel like it could be really fun and exciting, and I hope you guys think that too. But let's go ahead and find out.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Blanco language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you into the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire, less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are new, my name is Johnny, and welcome everybody to a brand new series we're doing here on the channel. This is going to be Planet Zoo Career Mode, hard difficulty.
That grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year. But then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel. This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal, the most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel? See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay,
now we go over here.
Let's hop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find. Panthera leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there. As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay, do I get a second to talk now? Okay.
When you adopt
Oh,
an animal,
never mind.
it's automatically placed in the trade center where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Okay.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Okay, I think we get a second to talk now. Anyways, welcome to the new series, guys. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt any of that stuff. So yeah, welcome everybody to career mode. This is kind of a bit of Planet Zoo that's really untouched, as I said in the beginning of the video, but I really wanted to kind of get a good look at this and see all the cool stuff we could do with it. I know not a lot of people really play this version, or play this mode. I've seen a few different series of it on YouTube, but I haven't seen too many going on, so I thought maybe I'd give a crack at it and see how we do. But yeah, I thought that would be really fun. So locate the trade center.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station, and for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl. Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare. Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a fair old state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Okay, so before I head over there, yeah, as I was saying, I haven't seen too many people play this, and so, you know, I thought I'd give it a little crack. Obviously, this one is going to have so much more dialogue than most of these zoos have, I think. I don't know, I've never actually played through the career mode myself, but I noticed that a lot of videos that I've watched on Planet Zoo... Yeah, we popped it, okay. I noticed a lot of the videos that I've seen on Planet Zoo, a lot of people say, oh, you should play through career mode, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I like the idea of that, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this little series that we're going to do. I'm sure it'll be really fun. And my goal is to collect all the stars that we can get. That would be really fun. So yeah, I guess let's keep going.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Ah, that's more like it. A
Gonna
quick
add
break.
a gate.
Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay,
there a
Job
specific...
number
Oh, they
one
want it way
here
over
is
here?
to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After
Not
all,
a fan
how
of it
else will
going
the
right
keepers
there.
Get in and out. Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it. Right.
Here we go,
Let's
7
complete
feet.
the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
I want to keep this looking nice, like the way we found it.
Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Okay. We'll go like this. Outside placement area. Oh.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4
There we
of them
go.
in here.
So am I allowed to edit this still? No. Okay, I
While
wanted
we
to put
wait
more
for them
glass,
to be
but
collected by the
okay.
caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Do something like that. And look at that, we got our first thing.
Good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour?
I did know that.
Heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
We got $200,000. What are you talking about?
Seems impressed. Did you do a speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals. You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
I already did all that.
This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness negatively, in case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
There we go.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food. And thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos.
Ooh,
Let's
hippos.
get on to your next objective
I like hippos.
then. Bengal
at 'em.
tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna take a quick pause here. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I am back. All right, let's get into
Your
this.
next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier.
Nah, I'm gonna forget that.
And make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Okay. Yeah, instead of 7, we're gonna go all the way up. Oh, no we're not. Okay, we're gonna keep it at 13. And then we can drag. And this can be dragged. And I guess we'll kind of try to go around this. There you go. And then like so. Yo, so many people are losing balloons. I can see the shadows of them. And then move that all the way down to here. So they want me to just use all this concrete stuff. Like so. This is going to be interesting looking. Okay, and then go ahead and just put that gate right there.
Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode.
Damn. Okay, how tall are we making this?
Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool. Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a height of at least 3.7 meters.
We'll go with 10 feet for now. Is that 3.7? Nope. Okay, let's do 12 feet. There we go.
In place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do this. And then glass. And then here, glass. 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 Look at that. Hold on. I want this as a concrete post. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. Okay, donation boxes. Bam.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Okay. These are some expensive tigers. Oh, here.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Okay, nice little food tray. We'll go put it right in there. That looks cool.
Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Okay. Blood pumpkin. Put that here. And this rubbing pad. We'll plop it right there.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat.
Wait, can I use...
No. One from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
We'll just pop the blueprint we'll just do that for now. And look at that.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel. Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain.
Okay, so
That'll
we
tell you
gotta-
what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat. Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that
Yeah,
should
like
help
it's
with the
getting some
habitat part of their
sand.
welfare.
Get y'all some sand around here. And we'll go like heavy soil throughout this spot. And then we'll get some heavy soil through here. Just to kind of give you guys some like pace trail looking things going on. And then short grass. We're gonna increase the size of this and just get rid of a lot of that long grass.
Right then. All animals
Perfect.
need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and
That was
how
easy.
many,
Just all I had to do was
select
add
a
an
tiger
elm
and go to
tree.
the Environment tab.
Oh, we unlocked tons of stuff. Look at that.
They say the good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
funny,
but for
buddy.
heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Okay.
Right.
So now I gotta
let's
work
head
on
over
gold.
to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social
Oh, this is
welfare.
sick looking. I like this.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although
Oh, they just need more
technically, I
social
suppose
group?
gandering would just be for geese.
Haha, very funny.
Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail.
Yep.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel
There
to
we go.
see what's wrong.
She's taking her sweet time
Good work
explaining
on
all of
those
this.
peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly,
Okay,
it
it's snow
sounds like our
leopards.
snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
Whoa, this looks crazy.
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right.
It's
You know,
not stress,
like when
though.
you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can
Cave
lower their
glass
stress
barrier.
levels by
Aha.
swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests. Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some
Look at 'em.
coolers to their
Hold on.
habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
I want to take a look at this guy in the tree. Oh, this isn't... this isn't quite right. Hold on. Ah. No, not that. Look at that. Okay, it doesn't look quite right, but it's pretty cool. Look at him. That's really darn cool. Yeah, I'm just chilling like a villain. Very, very cool. Okay. Anyways, what were we doing? This? And then we're looking for temperature. Let's go to standard and then... Okay.
As you can see, we
Temperature.
already
Oh,
have
dang.
one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can.
Okay.
Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Ah, they're not gonna let me do that? Okay. I guess let's go like here and then here. And these are already set to lower temperatures. They are. Just go ahead and speed that up. Once it gets colder. Okay. So... okay, add 3 coolers. Okay. So they want me to add another one. Right there.
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use
Am I
of
allowed
them.
to place stuff? No, because I'd like to cover these coolers
It'll take a little while
up.
for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards' terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Alrighty, not that terrain. There we go. Y'all want some snow, huh? Oh, this is actually making snow. Huh. I thought it'd actually have to snow first. Okay. It's a little bit of a strange look for him, but I guess let's just snow it up with all these bracken plants in here. Yeah, okay.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals.
So we gotta
across the
check all of
whole
them,
zoo.
or is there specific
And that
ones?
average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Oh, this one's stuck.
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button. Right,
Okay.
I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Enrichment. So you... okay, so now we have access to everything. So you guys want more toy enrichment. What enrichment do y'all already have in here? Prey-scented sack. Okay, so we will put a scratching post way over here. And that already worked. Cool. Alright, on to the next animal. The elephants. Okay, you guys have only a sprinkler in here. Whoop. Nope, not what I want to do. Okay. So you guys could use more. So let's get you a tire. That could be fun. And we can get you something... that's a little too big. Get them a little beaver pool going. That. And then they need some food enrichment. Let's get a hanging barrel feeder. Put it like way over. Rotate it and put it there. And then a tree scatter feeder. We'll put that right over here. Very good. Okay, who's next on the list? Tortoises. Aldabra's giant tortoise. You guys don't have any enrichment. We will get a thing over here. We'll get a rubber duck in there. And then for food enrichment, a little spike tree and some frozen fruit. Very cool. Seems like a lot of these guys just don't have any enrichment. The Titan beetle. Okay, you just don't have any food. Yeah, you just don't have anybody taking care of you guys. Zebras also have 0 enrichment. Alrighty. Rubbing pillar. Put one there. And then for food enrichment, let's get y'all a small barrel feeder. Put it there. And then a hanging grazing feeder over there. And then a grazing ball. Put it way over there. Very cool. Alrighty, what else do we need? You keep getting stuck in this little spot. You. Move. You need to go like way over there or something. It's like this little spot right here. Am I allowed to place things? Okay, good. We're just gonna get this rock and place it like that. Hopefully that stops it from getting stuck there. Okay. Giraffes. Food enrichment. So you guys need some food enrichment. Suspended high grazing feeder. Bam. And some toy enrichment. Wouldn't mind some of that. So we'll get a sprinkler down. Okay, so how close are we now? 84%. Carlos, the Goliath bird eater. What do you need? You just need some care. The warthogs don't have any food enrichment. Go ahead and get you guys like a little fruit spike tree. And then we'll go ahead and get you guys a little brazen barrel feeder. Now our hippos need some toy enrichment. What can I give you? Get you a little tire. Put it over here. Perfect. Okay, why are you sad? Stress. You are stressed. So what I'm gonna do here, turn that to one-way glass. Okay. Now lemurs. It's just a matter of getting all these guys happy. Wow, you guys got a weird looking thing going on here. So you guys need toy enrichment. Get a little Mirror-mobile. Put it, I don't know, somewhere that's viewable. Like right over there. And get you some ice. Right there. So you guys are all good. Ostrich. Y'all need more. Mirror-mobile. And then food enrichment. Get you a big old thing right there. Okay. So you still have an issue with terrain. And you want some long grass. And some sand.
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, we did it.
At all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with
Very good.
flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another
Very
one
cool.
of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Grab my passport. And look at that. This zoo is completely done. Isn't that cool?
Sounds like you've got the whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring, grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises. I guess I was
Oh,
right
wow,
to
check
hurry,
that out.
huh? Don't tell her I told you, but Nancy wasn't sure you'd even last the morning. So, we're happy
Wow.
this is working out.
I'm taking
And
offense to that.
Nancy owes me a foxy coffee. As strange as it seems, considering we just met, when I look at you, I feel like you're the child I never had. After the one I did
Thanks,
have,
man.
obviously. But you see, zookeeping's not for my daughter. Don't get me wrong. Emma absolutely loves animals, but she set her sights somewhat higher. Wants to save the entire planet. I'll just settle for saving a couple of species. And maybe having a type of frog named after me.
So, the Bernie frog, is that what you want to call it? Yeah, very cool. We actually got all this done, which was, it took a little bit of time, but we did it. I hope you guys did enjoy watching this. It was a little different, I will say. It definitely felt like we were just... It honestly felt like a little bit of work, but I honestly don't mind that. It wasn't too bad. I liked it. Hopefully you guys liked it too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!